As we celebrate the freedoms we have in America this 4th of July, we're introduced to two Vietnam War veterans, both Oklahomans, both connected to a war and specific date that would baffle everyone who hears the story. They were strangers initially, but a chance meeting would prove to be an incredibly unlikely tie, one they aren't shy to share, one that takes them back to May 11th, 1972. The Vietnam War spanning several years, but it was this day that changed everything for Colonel Bill Talley. At the time, he was a fighter pilot.
May the 11th, 1972, I was flying an F-105 two-place that was modified to search out and destroy surface-to-air missile sites. Our mission, a flight of 4 of us, was to go into the Hanoi area and support several, maybe 6 or 8 flights.
It was a dangerous mission, but Talley and his crew were dedicated to the job at hand, their lives hanging in the balance. But this day in particular, Talley had engine trouble for a second time, or so he thought.
This may not make sense, but 2 weeks before, I was flying a mission in North Vietnam, not in the Hanoi area, and the engine quit. Just quit like that. So I tried the emergency procedures.
So he believed it was a similar situation.
The engine quit again. And my initial reaction was, I've got another bearing failure, and turn west to get away from the Hanoi area. I could see Sam, but nothing around my airplane.
But this moment was different, and he had to make a serious decision. Survival was still in reach.
I bailed out and went crashing through tops of some trees and landed on a pile of rocks.
And for a moment, he was stuck.
I couldn't get it out of the trees, and I raised up my pant legs and looked at this cut.
Once down,
I climbed up to the top of the nearest hill that was where I was, and saw some big rocks, big enough for me to crawl in. And I crawled in there and waited. And waited, and nothing happened.
But eventually he'd be caught.
10 or 11 o'clock at night, way off in the distance, I could hear people. To me, it sounded like yodeling.
Talley came out a few times.
And I looked, and I was surrounded by 15 or 20 people, so not army, just native, or just people. Militia, I guess.
This group took him hostage, tying his arms behind his back and leading him through several towns, some where he encountered violence.
They vented the anger on me then, and they would kick me, and what I disliked the most was for some man to get up close and spit in my face.
Soldiers taking him. His location was unknown to him at the time.
I was only right at the outskirts of North Vietnam, of Hanoi, and I didn't have any idea where we were. It wasn't until 2 weeks later that I found out I was in the Hanoi Hilton. The Vietnamese name is Wallo.
Talley says he was blindfolded and met with hostile interrogation. He remained a prisoner of war there for almost a year.
I remember that. They would tie your arms behind your back like that, or your hands like that. And then somebody would grab a hold of your arms and start rotating them up over your head. And you eventually ended up with your head down between your knees. It was very painful.
Well, that day, Commander Jim Knoll was in the air as well. And even more shocking, he remembers when the plane went down.
I was coming up on Hanoi. I could see downtown. At that time, I hear Ice Bag 4 come up and say, I've been hit. And Ice Bag 3 says, he's gone. That's all I heard.
That was Talley. Flip several decades later, the two would meet.
But I ran into him, I think, at the Oklahoma Military Hall of Fame, and he told that story, and I said, I was there that day.
The two would meet a few more times.
And I heard him give one more speech, and I went up and introduced myself. I think it was at a Christian Women's Club.
And to this day, both are amazed by their connection.
We didn't know each other until then. But that's all I heard as I went across on that 45 and started escorting the strike flight out.
And this 4th of July, the two are celebrating their friendship.
I hadn't talked to anybody about I shoot down a bailout or anything like that. And then I meet this guy that was in the air at the same time I was, flying combat over Hanoi. That's a bond that not many people share or experience.
Their freedom and our country.
Be thankful for the freedom that we have and continue to.
Yeah, a very interesting story indeed, and we're told Colonel Talley was a part of Edmond's Liberty Fest parade yesterday.